What's up, YouTube? So today we have a window on the rear door that will actually go down but not up. So we test the power wire to the motor. We actually have power in the up and in the down position. So some people might actually replace the motor when it's really it's lost of ground. This is a reverse polarity system. So one power switches to ground, and then the other ground switches to power, depending on up or down. So I'll just give you a quick look at this. So anyways, when I put this in here, the green indicates ground, and red indicates power. Switch up, I have power up. Switch down, power down. So, you know, a lot of guys would be like, well, I got power, let's replace the motor. But we actually got no ground. So basically, trace the wires for a bad ground. These are notorious for broken wires in the door. Alright, so after testing the master control switch, I have power and ground into the switch like it's supposed to. If you notice, when I hit the button, look at the window over there, nothing's happening. But if I start to close the door, watch the window over there. There it goes. So with the door almost closed, it's working. So that's an indication I have a broken wire in this door. As I open it again, nothing. So anyways, I'm looking for a broken wire in this door hinge area, and I'm gonna peel it back and we'll see what we find. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this door panel back together. Obviously, we know the problem is not in this door. It's going to be in that driver's door hinge harness. So, do a little quick setup here. So there's not a whole lot of room in this door hinge area. So I'm kind of partially closing the door and wiggling the plug. I did find a broken wire already. As you can see, this wire is broken. So I'm just trying to get the plug out of the door jamb where I could pull it out and actually do a repair. Alright, so I got the plug out. You gotta kind of close the door as much as you can to get this hinge to disconnect. So at this point, I'm going to peel back the rubber and try to find the other end of this broken wire and do a solder repair. Alright, so I've got this boot peeled back. This is in such a bad spot. So what I'm going to do is try to solder a wire onto the end of that, put some shrink tube on it, and then solder to the other end, kind of lengthen the wire a little bit. It's so close to the plug, and that plug is a pain in the butt to take apart, so where the customer is actually wanting his car, they never want to wait long enough to, you know, give us time to fix this thing. But anyways, so I'm gonna do a quick repair, and if this thing fails again, I'm gonna recommend that he just replaces this door harness. That way it cover my culo. So we're gonna try to flow a little solder on here. A little shaky. But that ought to do it. Close enough. It's definitely in a tight spot. But that is soldered. Now if I can just definitely get some shrink tube all the way down. So we're going to slide this shrink tube There's one little strand that didn't get soldered, but I'm gonna just kind of tuck it in the shrink tube. We'll be okay. It's definitely in a very tight spot. Alright. Alright, close enough. I will melt that down. To melt her down. I would usually use a torch, but this is so close to the boot that I'm afraid if I use a torch, it's gonna melt the boot. So I just want enough heat to hold that shrink tube in place, but not melt my boot. Looks pretty good. Alright, so there you have it, guys. That is a super tight spot. That shrink tube will hold, and then I'll do the other end. Alright, close enough. So like I said, this is just a quick repair. I would probably recommend that he replaces this harness because a lot of these wires are pretty brittle. But for now, this will work. They said the customer's kind of in a hurry, of course, wants his truck. Try to stretch these out a little bit, just so I can kind of interlace these wires here. Then I'm going to do like a bend connection and slip the shrink tube on there. Alright, here we go. So I just kind of intertwined the wires, and I'm going to drop some shrink tube right on there, or drop some solder and let it flow in. Try not to get too crazy. Definitely want to heat the wire up till it flows. Let it flow through the bottom. Alright. Good enough. Basically just completing a connection. It ain't gotta be pretty. It's just gotta work and last. Slip the shrink tube over. And we'll heat it up. Just kind of heat it up till the rosin waterproof stuff kind of seeps out the edge. Basically, see a little goo coming out the ends. That's what we want. And there we go. Repaired. It ain't pretty, but it's gonna work. Alright guys, I'm gonna get this back together and we'll try to test it. Alright, so it's all repaired. I'm gonna loop that wire in there, get this thing put back together, see what she does. Alright, so I just looped the wire a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little bit of tape in here to hold it in place. Nothing too crazy. And we'll try to put this thing back together. Of course, things are wanting to stick. Alright, so the boot's back in place, the plug's back installed, and testing the switch. And so there you have it. Right rear door window and op. Problems up in the driver's front door. This is like the hinge harness where the wiring harness goes out to the master control switch and the stuff in the door. Anyways, I'm gonna finish getting this back together completely, close the door a few times and make sure it works. Okay guys, so quick recap. Sorry about the wind. It's a 07 F150, had a right rear window inoperative. I had power at the window motor, but I had no ground. So these are kind of notorious for wires breaking in the door hinge. So we did that wire repair, tried to show as much of it as I could. So this thing's all good to go now. Repaired the wire, it's back on the road. It obviously wasn't cheap. I spent about 2.5 to 3 hours hunting it down and doing the wire repair. So I'm gonna post this video on YouTube. If you guys give me a subscribe, share the video, like it, leave some comments if you run into any issues like this, or if you have some issues and there's something I can help out with, hit me up. All right.